What's up, everyone? It's time for more One Piece. This is episode 769, 770, and 771. I said a little bit ago, like, oh, I gave a timeline for when this arc would be finished. I said, like, it'll be finished in this many weeks or whatever, right? I was slightly wrong on that. It'll finish half a week earlier because I realized that there are several, I think 3 filler episodes at the end of the arc. So because I was like planning out episodes and I went to the filler list and I was like, oh shit, there's like episodes, I think it's like 779, no, it's like 780, 781 and 782 or something along those lines. I've written it in my thing. Filler episodes. So because of that, that means that I think this time next week we will be finishing off the Zou arc. Wild, absolutely wild, because it's just like, I guess in this arc there was part of me that was like, oh, they're setting up this big thing that's happening, they're setting up this big thing, but it's like, really, they aren't setting up these huge things to happen on Zou, they're just setting up these small things to happen on Zou. And then the big stuff is all gonna happen in the next arc. So I'm excited to see how Zou wraps up, and I'm excited to see what the next arc has for us. I think I've only heard like little bits and pieces, but I think I've heard the next arc is quite good. So I'm really hoping for good things for the next arc, because I don't know what to expect really. I might be making another one of those videos that's like what I think the next arc is going to be based on the title. I might be making one of those. I don't know yet. I know that took me a long time to make the Dressrosa one. But since this is going to be another big arc, I think this arc's going to be like 90 episodes or something. Since it's going to be another big arc, it feels like it'd be appropriate to do another one of those videos. So I'll keep my eye out for it, because I also kind of want to do, I mean, I'm telling you ahead of time, I also kind of want to do the April Fool's Day video. I want to do that again, kinda. January, February, March, April. At the time I'm recording this video, that's like a month and a half away. Oh my gosh, there's so much. There's so much to do. So yeah, just, you know, keep an eye out for any special videos that I might be doing. And when those special videos do come out, please support them. Go over there, watch the whole videos, share it around, like the videos, comment on them, so that, you know, because I'll be putting a lot of work into them. And it's a good way for people who don't watch my channel to be able to find my channel and go, wow, these are like things that other YouTube channels don't do. I don't know many other One Piece reaction channels that would do like skits about One Piece or do dubs of One Piece, you know. So it's something you can kind of only get on this channel, so make sure to share them around if they do pop up. But yeah, anyway, I think we're gonna just jump into this episode. As I've said before, I mean, if you join my YouTube membership down below, I think you can probably finish the Zou arc now. So you can join the YouTube membership below to get the Zou videos edited right now on this channel. You don't even have to leave YouTube. Or you can join my Patreon account to get the full-length reactions and early access for many weeks past that. So it'll be the next 20 or so episodes will be into the next arc already on there. So you can go check that out as well. But let's jump into episode 769 of One Piece. Woo! Okay, recap Rubik's. If you are new to this channel, this is the recap Rubik's. It's a Rubik's Cube that I do while the recap is going on, and my goal will be to beat the recap. We're gonna wait until this little intro sequence is over. Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we go. And that's the cube complete, just in time. Okay, this episode is called The Ninja Revealed. Raizo gets released. They're all so disappointed. Even Zoro's disappointed. And Law? Law was disappointed too. He was a little excited for a ninja. Is that a poneglyph he's tied to? I didn't see that last time. Where's Robin? Get Robin down here. Let her read that text. Here she comes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, damn it. Stop getting distracted by other shit. Go down there. There we go. Okay, it is there. Mm-hmm. Deep red. Did they change the spelling of Poneglyph?
Nico Robin.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she can read it. Go read it, Nico. I want to know what it is. I mean, it's possible it won't say much. Because isn't it like the Poneglyphs? Don't we need to find like all of them and then it'll tell like a story or something? It's been a long time since we've had Poneglyph lore, I feel like. Aww, seeing Nico Robin. Oh, that's great! She makes eyes on the object. That's so good. Oh, Robin's backstory is one of my favorites. I think it's probably my favorite backstory in the whole show. And there's a lot of backstories in this show. But the Robin one hits different for me. Oh. Of course she can. Oh, she's so excited! And I'm so excited for her. I love when she sees things that are really interesting to her. I don't care about Raizo right now. I want to watch the Robin stuff. It's because we're men. Yeah. I mean, I could take or leave ninjas. Ninjas are kind of cool, but don't generally love them. Ninja women, however. Oh, there we go. Now we stop speaking my language. Get stabbed. It's good to know that Luffy would read Naruto. I like showing lore being a bit childish. Childlike, I guess. Aww. I'm sorry, man. Cool. There you go. You got a ninja technique. There you go. Alright, there we go. Now he's doing real ninja things. That's what Law wanted to see. Oh, it's got the classic replacement. Yeah. So how much of this is just like generic ninja stuff and how much of it is like directly Naruto references? I don't watch Naruto, so I can't speak on it. Raizo of the Mist. Okay. I don't know. I still don't know my opinion on him. He's fine. He's a fine character. I don't find ninja techniques as cool as like anything anyone else in that room can do. Robin can make eyes on a bookshelf. Like, that's really cool to me. Speaking of, why have we left and not told me the Robin stuff? Why is Chopper hanging off his mouth? Oh my god, stop it. Yeah, seeing how the town's been mildly destroyed. Well, majorly destroyed, I guess. I'm just comparing it to Dressrosa, where that was really destroyed. This place looks fine compared to that. Yes, they do, and it's okay. It's because they were protecting you. Man, yeah, it was very beautiful. Well, the thing is, it didn't destroy their spirits. We saw the minks and they were all still like smiling and happy after their city was destroyed, so. I mean, they show some of this stuff like the people died, you know, like they're fading away like they died. But we know they're just like in the forest or whatever. It's fine. It's just stuff. It'll be okay. I mean, I thought he would be a good guy from when we first saw him. Like, he looks like the kind of character Oda would design to be like a good guy deep down. I want to find out about the Poneglyph. Okay, good. Oh, you're asking Nami? Ooh, awesome! Using the two girls' skills together. A road Poneglyph. Cool. Oh my god. What? What? Yeah. That's fucking insane. He said butt, right? Isn't there a butt? Wait for the butt. Yeah, we need to listen to you. Oh, so you have to find all 4 of them and then it'll tell you where Raftel is? Will it be in the middle of all 4 of the ones that it tells you? Oh my gosh. Yep, that's what it is. Cool. That's very cool. Man, Oda's so good at building this stuff up. Like, holy shit, this is endgame stuff. But he's built it up with enough, like, shit to do before then. Ah, fucking great. That's just so cool, Oda. Like, I mean, it's classic. Like, I mean, you do this in, like, video games and stuff a lot. Like, oh, you have to find all of these things, and once you find all of them, they give you the location for the place you need to go. It's classic, but it's like, it just feels really good in a series like this, because Oda isn't stingy with story beats, which I think that's like, that is, to me, the #1 strength of this show. And that's saying a lot. But the #1 strength of this show is the fact that Oda allows himself to tell so much story. Like, there's so many writers, I feel like, who, if they were approaching the same series, they would even, like, I know this show, oh, it's 1,000, you know, 1,100 episodes or something, whatever so far, right? Or 1,200 episodes. Like, this this show is so long, like it's such a extended thing, but it's like the series, the concept of the show makes it so it has to be long. However, Oda himself writes the series like in such a way where it's like anytime that he can drop major lore, he will. He'll just do it. He'll just drop huge lore. And it will continue like that for the whole series. So this show doesn't like slow down really, you know? I mean, it does. It obviously has slow pacing, slow parts. But in terms of like story progression, I feel like in every arc since Alabasta or something, there's been like moments in pretty much every arc where I'm like, holy shit, this is like major story implications, you know? I would say the one that I've seen the least in is probably Thriller Bark from memory. Like there were still lore drops in Thriller Bark, and there was like the Kuma stuff. That was the big thing from what I remember. But like other than that, I guess Thriller Bark to me felt like the lowest lore drop type arc out of everything. But still, I mean, like even that arc had its moments of like really cool stuff. So yeah, I'm just so happy like watching this episode and seeing them find a poneglyph and then find out these are road poneglyphs and there are 4 of them, and then once we find the other 3, we're going to be able to go to Raftel. Like that's the goal. That's so cool. That's so great. Because I thought it was just going to be, we just keep, and I think they thought this as well, you just keep going from island to island to island to island until eventually Raftel is the last one, right? But no, it seems like, yeah, no, this is like, we're finding out the location that Raftel is in, and then we can just go right there, basically, if we need to. Whoo, man! But I wonder then if they do end up finding where it is, like, would they be tailed by other pirates? Like, at that point, maybe other people will find out that that's what they're doing, and that they have the information, because they have Nico Robin. No one else has a Nico Robin. Like, other people may be able to, like, to decode the Poneglyphs or whatever, but, like, Nico Robin's, like, the best person in the world to have on this task, and we have her. So we've got, like, that on its own, I think gives us the best chance out of any pirate crew in the world to find Raftel. Any of them. Which is saying a lot, because, I mean, you've got like, Blackbeard, and you've got, all these other, like, incredible pirates. Oh, you got Shanks and all the emperors and stuff. Like, you've got these amazing pirates, but like in terms of getting to Raftel, like, work smarter, not harder. We have Nico Robin, and we earned her as well. Like, Nico Robin, it's fun because Nico Robin also, there are not many, if any, other crews that could have gotten Nico Robin back and had her join our crew. Like, it's so much stuff that specifically only the Straw Hats could do, because we needed to, 1, be crazy enough to go to Ennis Lobby and to save her from there, and 2, be caring enough to want to go after Nico Robin, even if she's a liability, quote unquote, a liability, you know, and 3, be sort of emotionally intelligent and caring and warm enough that Nico Robin chooses you over everything else that she has pulling her down, you know? That she finds that you are her reason to live. You need to achieve those 3 things to be able to get Nico Robin back. And, obviously, battle prowess to be able to actually do it as well. So you need to achieve those 4 things to be able to get her back. And they did. They got her back, and, like, I would say she's one of the most valuable game pieces we have. Not only is she intelligent, and not only does she have a great devil's fruit, like one of the best we've seen in the show in terms of versatility, but also she is a one of a kind in her ability to read poneglyphs. So I'm guessing that the English translation decided to change the way they spell poneglyphs, because they've been spelling them now Ponegliff, which is fine. It's strange. I wonder what their decision was for that, because they've changed a few spellings throughout this series. Like I think they like Big Mum used to be Big Mam or something, and then they just changed it to Big Mum, I think. That's the one that jumps to my head right now. But there's a few like spellings that over time they change. They decide on like a new spelling for one of One Piece's words or names or whatever. And I don't mind it. I mean, people, I'm sure there's a subsect of people who absolutely fucking hate it when it's really not a big deal. It doesn't matter that much that it's changed. But I'm just curious, like, I wonder if there was a reasoning for that, like, because the previous spelling of Poneglyph had like the word glyph in it, Glyph, and that's like a word, and that kind of represents, you know, because it looks like there's glyphs on the poneglyph. So like that made a lot of sense to me. But now they've changed it to look like it's like they're talking about an animal now. It almost looks like a poneglyph. The way that they spelled it, it looks more like a made up word. So to me, gives me the vibe more of a fan translation now, because a lot of the time fan translated stuff, I mean, look, fan translated and fan localized stuff is great, and fan subtitles are great, like, because it's fans putting in a lot of work or whatever. But to me, fan translated stuff has never been as good as like official localized stuff to me, because I feel like while they keep quote unquote authenticity, you know, they'll translate things more directly, and so therefore if you know where to look in the right places, you get closer to what the original text actually said. But to me, what you lose is too much. Like you kind of lose the actual feeling of what the text should be, and also legibility and lots of other stuff. But that's not to disparage fan translators, because they're often doing this incredible work for very little, if any, money. And so they're amazing. But I just think official localizers get a lot of shit for stuff, and I feel like this is something that localizers could get shit for a small reason. I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt people got too bad about this, but it's just funny to me, because whenever I notice something's changed, I'm like, oh, there's a difference. People are gonna be mad about that difference. But yeah, so I don't know why they changed Poneglyph. I wonder, is that something I can look up without spoilers? Hold on. Good, I found it without spoilers. Yeah, it's just the manga. That was the manga's translation of it. And at some point, looks like the anime started to change their translations to be more in line with the manga, so that there's like consistency between them. That makes sense to me. Like, I think, to me, it sounds like the anime's, I preferred the anime's original decision of translating it, but I get if it's like the manga does it in this way, so the anime is like trying to make sure that people, if they're jumping back and forth between the manga and the anime or whatever, that they're not like, what the fuck are they talking about? You know, obviously Poneglyph is a small one, but there's the other one that's like the Conqueror's Haki that changed to Color of the Supreme King or something. Which still, when I see it, I'm like, oh, I know what they're talking about, but I never remember it. I only just remembered it because I saw it in the thread that I looked at just then. But like I'm never gonna remember it. Not never going to, but I never remember it when I'm like doing the discussions. What they call Conqueror's Haki. So I still call it Conqueror's Haki, even though I think now they've changed to calling it Color of the Supreme King. I think that's what it's called. I've already forgotten it. But yeah, anyway. So yeah. Poneglyph, really excited. Let's just move on to the next one. This is episode 770 of One Piece. Here we go. Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we go. Alright, that's how far I got in the cube. This episode is going to be called The End of One Piece. The crew arrives at Raftel. I'm excited. Inside, I mean, I wouldn't call it inside yet. Once we get all 4 coordinates, then yeah. But I'm glad everyone's like re-pumped up. Is this gonna be it? Okay. I thought like maybe this might be like a big lore drop about Poneglyphs. It's just a reminder about Poneglyphs, I guess. Yep. So we know Roger like wrote on one of the Poneglyphs, right? So he used the Poneglyphs. That we know now how he used the Poneglyphs to get to Raftel. I still really wonder what Raftel's gonna be like. Could be anything. Oh, you know where 2 of them are? Oh shit, is one Big Mom? Oh my god. And Kaido? Are you kidding? So we need to face him. Oh, that's great. Don't cry, it's gonna be great. Yo. You just need to read them once. Yeah, we saw the O'Hara doing that. Imagine ending One Piece with them just silently getting the One Piece with no conflict. That was kind of my thought as well. You would be able to. Okay. I trust Nami. But can you definitely not at least like mostly figure it out with 3? It doesn't matter, it's a grand line. Nothing's predictable here, so let's say that you need all 4. You're worried about her? Oh, because people are going to come after her to get this info? We'll all be coming for you, babe. Yeah. As I said in the discussion, she's one of the most valuable crew members we can have. And Water 7 and Endless Lobby, it's still my favorite saga, I think. That's just like absolute peak One Piece to me. She's okay with it. She knows that the Straw Hats will go to the ends of the earth for her. Exactly. Aww. Ah, even Nami's blushing from it. I didn't think Nami would be that that affected by it. And Zoro just smiled, very in character. What are we looking at now? We cutting somewhere? Oh, to Jack maybe? Is this back when he originally was presumed dead? When he tried to break out the flamingo? Suru and her crew. Get happy whenever I see them. Hell yeah. It's fun when you're able to like straight up root for the Marines for a bit. Oh, okay, there we go. Now he's woken up. So, it haunts him. What happened there? They almost killed him, I think. Maybe because they guard one. Odin. Hell yeah, this is a valuable ally to have. Indestructible book. Oh yeah, the Poneglyphs. I was like, whoa, an indestructible book, but that's what they are. That's crazy. Yeah, so you've found the origin of the. Wow. Yeah, it really is just Ohara. Okay. Oh. Shit. He died and he didn't pass on the skill. Are we about to see a flashback? Or just hear a little bit? That seems like it's hinting at a flashback in the near future though. Oh, he was executed. Jeez. Oh. Okay, so the Shogun and Kaido executed him. That's fucking wild. Yeah, we'll be headed over there just after we finish with Big Mom's place. Good question. Okay, I mean, in the same way that Jack did from this city. What? What? Whoa! He was with Gold Roger? Oh my god. That's wild. There's so much important lore being dropped right now. I mean, yeah, the Wano arc is like 200 and something episodes, isn't it? So they're setting up a lot. Damn, man. Damn, man. So much lore dropped in these episodes. Oh my gosh. I'm just looking at my notes. Okay, so we got lore about the Poneglyphs, which is good because I like the Poneglyph storyline. Mostly, you know what? I mostly like the Poneglyph storyline because Robin likes it. Like, I like seeing her so engaged with something because it's like the one thing that she really, really cares about. Where everything else she'll just be like, you know, very casually going along and just like witnessing things that are happening. But whenever it's the Poneglyphs, like, she takes a front seat. She actually starts driving the story along, and I really like when she's driving the story because it doesn't happen super often. And I love her character. So I love the Poneglyph storyline. And so it seems like there are 4 road Poneglyphs. However, one's here, one we don't know the location of, and then the other 2 are with emperors. Kaido and Big Mom have 2 of the other ones. That's scary, but kind of awesome. Now, they did say in this episode that, or Nami said at least, you can't do it with just 3. And I was thinking like because triangulation is a thing, right? Now, I'm speaking not as a scientist or whatever, right? But triangulation is a 3, so if you had those 3 points, you could like figure it out like down to the center. Obviously, this is like the 4 points, right? And then it's the center of those 4 points. If you had 3 of them, you know, like I wonder, you know, like, I don't think you'd be able to get the exact location, because you wouldn't necessarily know like the distance it is between these spots or whatever. But wouldn't you be able to like narrow it down a lot? Now, my answer to that, I'm gonna answer my own question. Like, you guys don't even need to answer this, because I already have a justification for it. It's the New World. It's the Grand Line. It like, they've already established in this show that the sea does not work how you would expect it to work. Compasses don't work properly. Maps don't work properly. So it is very reasonable to say, no, in the Grand Line, in the New World, you need an exact location. You can't just search an area for something. That's not really how it works here, because you're gonna be going in circles. You might find yourself in weird places. Like, you need to know the exact coordinates, I think, of a place if you want to go somewhere. That's what an eternal pose is for. So yeah, I'm guessing that what Nami said is correct. You would need all 4. But it was an interesting thing to think of at the time. I was gonna mention it in the last episode, and I forgot to in the discussion. But I'm glad they like straight away just had Chopper go like, hey, can we just get 3 of them? And Nami went, nope, and then they moved on. So yeah, so that means I already knew we were gonna face Big Mom and we're gonna face Kaido. I know that, right? Because I know, I've heard that there's a Kaido like fight or whatever in this series. Like, I've heard people talk about a Kaido fight, so I know that there's a Kaido fight at some point. And I think that's probably towards the end of Wano. If not, that's the climax of Wano. And I know that we will be dealing with Big Mom at some point. And I said this because at some point when I was like thinking about One Piece before I started watching it, or like looking at something One Piece related, at that time they were doing stuff with Big Mom in the anime, right? And so I knew that she was a major character in the anime at that time. So I'm guessing I'm getting close to that now. Like, the next arc is going to be, because I've said in the past that there's like a few episodes of One Piece that I had seen like just either on TV or like on like clips, people or someone else has been watching it, and I just like came in and saw them watching it, and I saw a bit of the episode or whatever, and they were like completely out of context things. And one of those episodes was one of the Fishman Island episodes, and I mentioned it back in Fishman Island, the episode that I had seen part of. And so yeah, I remembered that vaguely, but obviously I had absolutely no context at the time, so I didn't really remember much about it at all. But I do remember another one, which is, I think, probably coming up in this next arc. But when I say I remember it, I really I have like these images in my head that I don't even know if they're real. Like, sometimes when you like remember something, but then you remember it completely wrong because you've just invented a new version of it in your head. I think that's what I've had now, where I did see an episode or a bit of an episode, but then now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. Here, I'll try to vaguely describe to you what the image in my head is. This is gonna be weird because it's gonna be nothing like what happens. I feel like there were a lot of ships, and there was a big war happening, and it was maybe like a rainy day, and I think I remember Big Mom was there. I think I remember Big Mom clashing with someone equally big. This is like really weird, because this might be complete bullshit. But that's just kind of what I feel like I remember Big Mom clashing with someone equally big. And I think I remember like they were sort of like taking out a bunch. It was like the Straw Hats were like taking out a bunch of goons. Mostly, I think I remember Nico Robin doing something to take out a bunch of goons. Like doing, I don't know, snapping everyone's necks or doing her giant hands thing or whatever, right? I don't know. That's kind of it. I kind of just remember like a stormy night, a boat going in on the stormy thing, and that happening. Now, you may be going, hang on, that doesn't apply to anything that happened in One Piece. And if you're saying that, that's fair enough, because it's very possible it's all made up. But the thing is, I feel like if I see whatever the episode is, it might trigger me to go, this was the episode. And I'll be like, oh no, it wasn't a stormy night, it was bright day. Oh no, there was only one ship. Oh no, they weren't, like, Big Mom wasn't fighting that. Big Mom was fighting Luffy or something, you know, something along those lines. But I'm just telling you, like, what was in there, because I think it might be funny if, like, maybe I described an episode perfectly, and maybe I, like, made up an episode, and both scenarios are funny, I think. So yeah, I can't wait to have, like, to go further in that arc and see if that was anywhere. So what else? So the Kozuki clan made the Poneglyphs, and then Odin knew how to read and write on Poneglyphs, but was supposed to pass it down to Momo, but then was executed and so couldn't. Was executed by the Shogun and by Kaito. I don't believe they named the Shogun. I think they just called him or her, I guess, but I'm guessing him. But you know what? I shouldn't do that. Let's just say them. Because we I don't think know anything about the Shogun of Wano. So, but I'm imagining like King Riku, but like evil. That's kind of what I'm imagining. I'm like, in my mind, he looks like King Riku, but he's like more weathered and more Japanese looking, obviously. And sort of gruff. I guess I'm in my head, I'm imagining a fusion between King Riku and Akainu. That's who I'm imagining. So yeah, executed by the Shogun and Kaido. So I'm very interested about Kaido because, like, when we initially were finding out things about Kaido, my concern, and it's not a concern as in I thought One Piece was going to do something wrong. It was a concern as in maybe I will have a lower investment in Kaido. But my concern was like, okay, King of the Beasts makes me think like this is a guy who can turn into an animal. And so he's going to have like an Incredible Hulk transformation. And all of his goons are going to have Incredible Hulk transformations. And I'm not going to be super interested. Like, I've talked about before how the transformation type powers are like my least favorite type of powers because I don't find them very interesting. Just like you turn on the power and you become a monster that just hits things harder, you know, or you know, is just stronger and bigger. I don't find them super interesting. And a lot of the time it also like takes away personality or takes away facial expressions or takes away like a lot of interesting things that the character provides and replaces it with less interesting things. But that's, you know, some people think those sort of transformations are awesome and I don't blame them for that. But yeah, so Zoan type fruits are like my least favorite types of fruits in the show. And because of that, I was worried about Kaido because I knew, one, that Kaido is a big deal. And 2, that he's called the King of the Beasts. And 3, that he was developing, like they were making the fake devil fruits that were all Zoan fruits. And 4, that his arc takes up a significant portion of the show. It takes up at least like 200 episodes. I think. I don't know if the whole Wano Kingdom arc is like based around Kaido stuff, or if it's like maybe they split it up into smaller things within it. I really don't know. Because I know we're getting to the part in One Piece where, like, the part of One Piece that was in the middle was the bit I was least familiar with. Like, all of the stuff up until around about now was the stuff that I was the least familiar with in all of One Piece. But now we're getting to the stuff that the reason I'm familiar with more of this stuff, at least, like, minorly, is not because I've ever looked up anything about it. It's because this stuff was airing while I was in the anime community and was properly watching a lot of anime and going to conventions and seeing cosplays and seeing fan art and hearing people talk about One Piece. So I have been this was the time in my life when I was exposed the most to One Piece, I think, starting from around now. Other than maybe when I was a kid, seeing like little bits of it on TV. But like I probably experienced more of it at this point in my life than I did back then. So, you know, all this to say, there's a reason that it's like, don't think that I know these like little tiny, if you could even call them spoilers, these hints of things to come because I've been like reading stuff about One Piece or like looking at things or commenters have told me stuff. None of that's happened. I'm just being upfront with you. I've kind of known this stuff in pieces all along. I'm now putting the pieces together more because I'm getting the context of the show. But yeah, it comes from a time before I ever watched One Piece, just hearing people talk about the series. But I promise you, when other people are like, when someone else is like, oh, I watch One Piece too, and I'm like, that's awesome, and they're like, oh, you should look for in this future arc, and I go, la 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 la, don't tell me anything. No. I like straight up tell people, like, don't say anything, don't show me any characters that you like, don't tell me things that are gonna happen, don't even name the arcs. Like, I think I know the names of the arcs at this point, but don't tell me just in case, you know? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to what's coming up to start putting more of those pieces together. But this is a part of the show where I kind of like know little bits about what's going to happen. So I'm very interested. I'm very curious. And yeah, Odin was with Gold Roger. That's kind of crazy too. I feel like we've seen little flashbacks of Gold Roger and his crew, right? And when we see them, we only ever see the people that we like know were on it. Like if we see a flashback, you know, the most recent flashback probably showed like Gold Roger, Buggy, Shanks, and Rayleigh, right? And maybe Crocus. So it shows like the ones that we know, and then it kind of like, from memory, I kind of remember there being just like sort of generic designs across the board for the rest of the crew. And I was like, okay, so those are like the important ones. But it's always, you know, like Oda could always add in more characters and just say, and this character was also there, and then they were just like not on the deck when that flashback was happening or whatever, you know? So I'm very curious because I want, like, honestly, in my mind, the most awesome thing to happen would be like we slowly find out one piece of Roger's crew throughout the entire series, and then like towards the end of One Piece we're getting like full flashbacks with all of these badass characters, and we're seeing how they interacted back then, and they're all like really cool characters with great designs, and we learned a lot about them in their respective arcs, and there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with that, I think. So yeah, I think we're gonna move right along into the next episode. This is episode 771 of One Piece. Here we go. Okay, recap Rubik's, here we go. I got a good feeling about this one. Alright, that's a cube complete just in time. Hell yeah! This episode's gonna be called a zombie pirate? Gold Roger returns from the dead. Yep. Yeah, that's such a wild... I was thinking about that scene last episode. Oh, I loved that scene with Rayleigh. Whoa. They're having to do a lot of a recap on the main plots of this because it's been so many episodes. Yeah, it probably tears apart at the Marines if people find out. Probably not. Yeah. Makes sense. That's also true. You'd torture them and wouldn't be able to get it out of them. We've seen that. Open up. Open up the land of Wano. Oh. This is very much like Inazuma from Genshin Impact. It being locked away, it having a shogun, it being Japanese inspired. To kill the shogun. Can you tell me who the shogun is? Please? Although if the shogun is anything like she is in Genshin Impact, there'd be a problem. I wouldn't want you to kill her. But I'm still guessing the shogun's gonna be a dude who looks like King Riku and Akainu mixed together. Get them as a, like, we already have a bunch of little armies, right? Let's get the mink army as well. Well, you just need gas masks next time. Be like Taskmaster and like adapt to your losses. You know your weakness is gas. Have masks ready. Or anti-gas things. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, Ace? You have Ace up your sleeve? It'd be cool if you could bring Ace back alive and let him fight for you. True, Chopper! He's spitting! Yeah! No baths, that kinda sucks. What about like tongue baths? Is he allowed to do that? Mm-hmm. Is a favor to free Wano? Yes, we will. The rest of the crew is gonna be like, please say no, please say no. But of course Chopper's gonna say yes. And Chopper? Luffy? Why did I say Chopper? Oh. Usopp's into it because it's like badass? Yeah, like because we've got samurai asking for it? Wow, they have that much faith in the samurai and the ninjas. They build this up like we won't know what Luffy's gonna say. No way Luffy denies this. Oh! Never mind! Never mind. I'm wrong. I thought he'd just jump at the chance to fight Kaido because it sounds fun. Or is he gonna technically be agreeing to it, but like, he doesn't like the way they said it, or doesn't like, you know, I want to deal with them all myself. I don't want to help you, I just want to do it. Wait, listen to Luffy, he might be cooking. Generally when he says something really weird, he's cooking. Nami? Yeah, they didn't offer enough money. Yeah? Or is he saying, Momo, you need to ask? Nah, Momo's, I mean, kind of a prick, it's okay. Yeah, that's true. But I think Momo and Luffy speak each other's language. So leave it to Luffy. He's ignoring the breasts. That means it's an important moment. Go over there and punch Luffy. In the squishy balls. The rubber balls he has. What are we seeing now? Oh, Jesus. Shit, man. He was like face to face with Kaido, huh? There we go. He's saying it himself. Now Luffy will agree, surely. This is... There we go. I mean, he's humbling himself as well. Oh. There we go. That's what he needed to hear. It wasn't the mission he disagreed with. It was the way he would agree to the mission. It's both comforting and like selfish of Luffy to say that. Aww. No. He even said, yeah, it is cool, but... That's true. That's true. He was treating him like a man. They're saying that, but we still gotta deal with Big Mom first. He's talking about something that's gonna happen in like 400 episodes or some shit. Obviously, Luffy doesn't know how many episodes it is. I like Law being part of it. Because I like that I keep forgetting he's there. Nice. Very cute episode, and I mean, this video, these 3 episodes have been very good for Law. Obviously, and by Law, I'm using L-O-R-E. I know it's very confusing now because I'm using both the term L-O-R-E, Law, and the character L-A-W, Law. And the thing is, I've got an Australian accent as well. So I think they blend together more as well. Because I don't, like, in the Australian accent, you don't pronounce your R's, lore. So because of that, it's probably harder to tell which one I'm talking about, but you can hopefully pick it up from context. We had some good lore in this episode, and in these 3 episodes. The only, bad thing is if I was to say, like, at a point where the pacing, like, slowed down, these 3 episodes had quite slow pacing, I would say, because all 3 of the episodes was like them being in this cave talking about like the Poneglyph and the family, and it's like, I think you could have done all of these 3 episodes within 1 episode pretty easily, but it's fine, it's okay, because there was still some really cool lore drops, and it wasn't too egregious to me. It's just something to point out. So yeah, the open up the land of Wano thing, right? This is reminding me a lot now of Inazuma from Genshin Impact. And I mean, like, I'm sure that's because they're both basing themselves off of Japanese culture, right? So so most of what I'm being reminded of is just because it's Japanese culture. like the idea of it being inspired by Japan and it having a shogun and stuff like that. That's just them both being inspired by Japan. But like the whole idea of like, oh, this is a place that is like cut off from the rest of the world, and so like we're trying to open up its borders again, is similar to what in Genshin Impact Inazuma is. And yeah, as I said, like if you don't know Genshin Impact, in Inazuma, which is one of the like different, what do they call it? I don't even remember, but it's one of the different regions in the game, right? And they were led by a shogun, Raiden Shogun. And she is like a badass woman with like long purple hair, and she has a sword that she pulls out of her tits. I mean, it's cooler than I'm making it sound. It's actually, she like pulls it like this, and it like comes out of the air, but the animation makes it look like she's just pulling it out of her cleavage sometimes. But she's like a really cool character and has a great design. I really like her. And so if the Shogun was anything like that, then I'd be very excited. I would love that. But so yeah, I'm excited to find out like more of the Wano characters, but man, they're setting up Wano so much that it's kind of crazy that we have all of another arc in between now and Wano, and a pretty significant arc. But I mean, they've already set up some of those characters. We know that there's going to be Big Mom. We know that there's going to be Big Mom's crew, including Beige. I keep calling him Capone, but the show calls him Beige or Beige more often. So I need to remember how to pronounce it. I'm sure you guys will tell me how to pronounce it, and then I'm not going to have it cement into my head. So I need to see them saying it more in the show, and then eventually slowly cement it in like that. Because if I just read your comments saying it, I'm just gonna forget it. But I'm gonna keep calling him Capone for now, because Capone's an easy name to remember because of like Al Capone and stuff. Like it's a famous gangster name. So you know, there's gonna be him. There's gonna be the other, like the teacup guy from Big Mom. There's gonna be the Charlotte girl that Sanji's marrying. We don't know much about her or anything about her really, except that she's the daughter of whoever Charlotte, like Big Mom's name. I don't remember what Big Mom's actual name is. And yeah, what's the name of Sanji's future wife? Surely I have it somewhere here, don't I? You'd think. Tristan, Sanji, okay. Hang on. Pudding Charlotte, there we go. Pudding, yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, we know that someone named Pudding is gonna be in it. Yeah, I'm sure there are a few others that I'm missing. But they've got, you know, a lot of... Because I imagine, you know, normally One Piece arcs don't just have that many characters that I've said. They will have a ton more, I'm imagining. Like, even this arc, this is a very, very short arc. And you have, like, Dogstorm, you have Cat Viper. Let's see how many of these I can remember. You have Wanda, you have Carrot, you have Tristan, you have Pedro, you have the Pedro that Dogstorm has following him around. I'm calling him the Pedro because he looks similar to Pedro and he kind of has the same function, but for Dogstorm. But that guy, he's got a more complicated name. You've got who am I forget? I mean, even like Raizo obviously was introduced in this arc, and so like, you know, there's a lot of these characters that are getting introduced in this one arc, and this is a very short arc. So a bigger arc like the one that's coming up, I'm imagining they're going to be dropping a lot of characters as well, and yeah, I'm just guessing we're just going to have them all show up. Like, we're going to have to learn about a lot of them pretty soon after getting there, I would think. So yeah, I'm looking forward to everything that's happening right now. I mean, I'm honestly, something that I'm really looking forward to is the fact that this is the like third last video that I'm doing on Zoark. So next video and the video after that are the last two videos on Zoark, I think. So that means, like, you know, the Zoark is already in finale territory, which is wild. I mean, I imagine it's gonna be that Jack shows up. I mean, here's the crazy thing, right? 8 episodes, and Jack hasn't shown up here. But I'm kind of imagining we're gonna fight Jack before the end of this arc. I kind of imagined that was happening. Maybe it's not. Maybe Jack's just gonna head back to Kaido, and then maybe we just deal with him in the Wano arc. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they set up Jack, but we only have 8 episodes left. And if we have Jack, Sheep's Head, and the girl, and one of the other guys, like, I remember there's a few, like, significant crew members. Is it gonna be like are they gonna show up and then there's gonna be a fast-paced fight with them? Are we gonna deal with them in like 3 episodes? Because that would be kind of nice if we had it be quite fast-paced to deal with them. You know, that they're like such a big deal for the Mink tribe to deal with, but then when we're all working together and the Straw Hats are there and stuff, we just destroy them. That would be kind of awesome. I don't know, but I'm really excited to see how this arc ends. Anyway, that is One Piece, episode 769 to 771. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking the video, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel. And go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction, early access, and exclusive videos. I will see you next time. Goodbye.